My fiancé and I are rarely intimate, and it has me worried about getting married.
So to preface, I'm an asshole. I fully recognize it. And if you come to hate me over this post, know you're not alone. Over the last year, my fiancé and I have had sex 6 times, and half of that was over the course of a particularly good weekend, like 5 months ago. The thing is, she has a medical condition that makes it painful sometimes when we have penetrative sex, so it makes her not even want to try most of the time, even if she craves it. I completely understand that and don't want to hurt her in any way, so I don't push it when she's worried about it. There's hope it'll be resolved next year, but I'm stressing that even if it is, she will still rarely want to be intimate with me. Intimacy is huge to me in a relationship, and physical touch, casually, romantically, and sexually, is a big part of my love language. We're still pretty young, so I crave intimacy with her in some manner basically every day. I've tried talking to her about the fact that we don't have to have sex, and that there are other ways to please each other, but it hasn't helped. I'm just so pent up and sexually frustrated. I crave intimacy so bad all of the time, and masturbation doesn't really help. It's like throwing a pail of water on a huge bonfire. It abates a little for a bit, but comes back just as strong and is frustrating. Lately, she's had a tendency to text me early in the afternoon, letting me know it's on when she gets home, and without fail, she has changed her mind before getting there every time. I know it's dumb and immature, but when it happens, it kind of makes me want to cry, because I get so excited at this chance to be close with her, only to have it pulled away. I do my best not to show how it makes me feel, because I know she has legitimate reasons, and I don't want to make her feel bad over something as stupid as sex. But it's affecting my mental health, and she can tell when I'm upset about something. I'm worried that we're going to get married and nothing is going to change. And I dread the thought of a dead bedroom. Leaving her isn't even a consideration for me because I love her so damn much she feels like a part of me. Her company is a blessing, and I love to just listen to her talk. She's such a funny, kind, beautiful woman that I feel like I won the lottery by having such an amazing person to love who loves me just as much in return. I really didn't want to share this with anyone because I find it embarrassing, but fuck man, just fuck. I needed to shout it into the void just to try and get it out of my head. Anyways, thanks to anyone who read this far and let me vent.
I think I want to keep my baby. I've always wanted kids, and I'm so infertile. I never have protected sex, and I never got pregnant. But God blessed me with not 1, 2. I'm pregnant with twins. I am a strong Black woman, and I know I can take care of my babies. But I live in a very judgmental small town down south. I already get stared down at in public when I'm at the grocery store with my nieces and nephews because people assume I'm a single mom. The baby father broke up with me because he didn't feel it anymore and wanted to mess around. But I'm going to let him know I'm having the babies after carefully considering the decision, and I'm going to put him on child support. Even though my kids won't have a father in their life, I have a good support system and a loving home. I can give them a good life. I will be my children's mother and father. I really struggled with this decision at first because I'm in my 30s. The clock is ticking, and I was never successful with pregnancy in the past, even when trying consistently. I don't want to pass up a blessing that'll likely never happen again. I always wanted to be married before I had my kids, and I know this will hold me back when I try to start dating again since men don't like single moms. But maybe I'll meet the man of my dreams while waiting at the pediatrician's office for my baby's appointment. Ha ha ha.
I became a kindergarten teacher during COVID lockdown for a supplemental school. I was sort of thrust into it since their old teacher backed out last minute, and the principal reached out to me since I'd volunteered for her before. I was only 18 at the time, and it was my first time teaching a foreign language. I remember at the end of the year I felt so disappointed with myself since I didn't get through the entire alphabet. I was even more upset since I saw how close other teachers were to their students compared to me. This past weekend, I was at an event that the mother of a student from that class happened to be at. She went around introducing everyone to her new baby, who had my exact name. I have never met anyone with my name before, so I looked to her wide-eyed and said, "Whoa, that's my name." She smiled and said, "I know." I was a little confused for a second because I didn't recognize her. Then she explained that her son, my ex-student, insisted on that name, and for the longest time, her and her husband were confused because they didn't know anyone with that name. I felt a little silly about how hopeful I felt about having this baby named after me, especially since I doubted he remembered me. But his mum said, "I'm certain he named her after you." It took everything in me not to cry in that moment, to know that even when I'm down on myself and feel that I'm not doing my best, there's someone out there who appreciates my efforts means the world to me. I've never had physical confirmation of this caliber that I've made an impact on the people around me. I just wanted to share this for anyone else who's doubting themselves. Thank you.
I am essentially incontinent at 24 years old. I literally cannot hold it. The second I notice I have to pee, I have about 5 minutes to do something about it before my bladder gives out. I'm pretty sure I know why this happens, but it doesn't make me any less annoyed about it. I drink a ridiculous amount of water, especially when I've had even 1 drop of alcohol. I cannot function when I'm hungover, so to avoid it, I double fist anything I'm drinking with water. So when I'm out, I expect to have to pee a lot and make sure I stay on top of it. However, now even in day-to-day life, I can't hold it to save my life. I could be 5 feet away from the toilet and my bladder would give out. I have pissed myself while literally standing next to the toilet. Again, I'm pretty sure this is just because I drink a ton of water. But if anyone knows of any other potential causes, feel free to let me know. It's really driving me insane. I'm 24 years old, for God's sake. Okay, everyone relax. I'm calling the doctor tomorrow.
Things my husband has done. My husband punched me in the face after we had an argument, and I called the cops on him. He knows the only way I will move forward with him is if he goes to therapy. Beforehand, I was already upset at him taking a week-long trip with his family and leaving me home with our 8-month-old twins. To find out he also met a woman there and was texting her for over a month after the trip, telling her he was going to buy a ticket for her so they could see each other again. He told her he was not only single but also childless. He begged me to have a child with him for years to deny he has any. I don't understand who I married. Then, when I spoke to the girl, I found out he also lied after the truth came out and told her we were never married, and that it is just a lie I tell to everyone. I told him I want a divorce. He doesn't want one, but I really do think he is a pathological liar. But a small part of me is wondering if he can change and we can come out of this. I never believed in divorce, but I feel I don't have a choice because of the level of disrespect that he has gone to. I'm just confused on how he went from my best friend to this horrible human being. My dad cheated on my mom after 35 years of marriage. My parents have a vacation house in Mexico, and my mom trusted a family friend, a younger woman, with cleaning the vacation house and giving her a spare. Turns out my father was actually having an affair with her and sending her money while my mom was wondering why they were struggling so bad financially. My brother gave him an ultimatum. It's the mistress or the family, and he ultimately chose to drop the affair. My mother was in denial for a while, but now she knows, and she's depressed. She stayed with him. When my mother was 2, her father completely abandoned her family of 5 to be with his mistress. Just unbelievable my father would hurt my mom like this while also knowing her past. Life isn't fair. My worldview of my father, who I love unconditionally, is completely shattered.